Okay, hey, greetings, lovers and friends. So I want to talk to you today about my MLM experience and a lot of the pluses, minuses, just everything that's kind of transpired and why I ultimately left. So I did something called Amway, which is a multi-level marketing business, and it started when I was in Malaysia. I was receiving this call it was actually during Ramadan, to return back. And I thought, wow, okay, the first day of Ramadan. I've always been listening to the call to prayer, and it had affected me just a little. I was just thinking, okay, I should be okay. This should be an okay time for me to just advance in the things that I want to do. But this time that I listened, it was just so overwhelming, really. So I made a list of all the things that was so positive and super negative, and why I had to leave, because really at the end of the day, I had just published my first book, and I'm still living in Asia, but except I moved to Malaysia. So I had given everything. I didn't even have money for 15-cent pastries in Vietnam. But it was so important because I was given a word. I was just told, just publish your book and don't worry about anything. Everything's going to be okay. So, I cut my finger. I'm currently in Oaxaca right now, Oaxaca City. It's gorgeous. I'll show you around in a minute. But so I just knew, okay, I have to have mentorship because I have so many aspects of my business that's all starting to I have to go back and continue to build. So at the time I had released my book and my product, and it was only one at the time before I started building an entire brand, which was based off of many stories of the book and the concept of the book, which is just finding your inner peace. And for me it was traveling, and how I went to Mexico with $200 my first time. And it wasn't just Mexico. I'd taken a 10-month journey through Mexico and Guatemala. So I'm okay, hold up. This needs to grow. I have my fulfillment by Amazon. I even made videos for you guys showing you the process, how I had been searching through finding sporting and outdoors products, and what is the top 100 products. Also how to negotiate, and because they had minimum order quantities and things like that. Anyway, that's a different video, but right now it's just kind of okay, I'm here in Malaysia, I'm getting this call for Ramadan, and I'm okay, I clearly need some more help because I'm just building this brand by myself. And Matt Clark is amazing. I really thank him so much for that. But I just said, okay, let me just go and just check out what I can. All of a sudden, I'm my aunt hooks me up. I end up coming back to Seattle. I'm staying with a friend, and there's all these meetings. So I'm okay, let me just see what I can do. Some people just run into a job. I was given a word. God told me don't work. So, I really haven't in how many years? Since I left Phoenix in 2015. I've not really had a job. I might work for 2 weeks or a month, but that's it. But it never seems to work out for me. Really, when I was teaching in Thailand, it was for a month, and then I'm yeah, okay. I think I taught total 3 months out of the 19 that I was living in Asia. So I was just, it doesn't seem to work out for me. There's a difference in this entrepreneurial mindset, right? So I just can't work a job. It just doesn't seem to work out for me. I make splashes. As I showed you guys in a previous video, there's the Startup Goldmine by Neil Song, I think his name. But you can go back in a previous video and check that out. But people who make splashes don't last long, especially in corporate America or any sort of specific organization. if they're not startups or if they're not run by other entrepreneurs, if the infrastructure also within the company is not working. So this seemed like a really good idea, right? This like, okay, hey, I can like check out this this MLM, see what it's about. And I started liking a lot of people at these network meetings. I was like, okay, I mean, the first meeting seems okay. The first person to approach me was actually, I had a little bit of notes, but I'm going to keep talking to you guys while I just brush over this. He was really cool. I mean, he just was like, oh my God, you just walked over to a group of men. That's like super intimidating. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's just me. I mean, I don't know. I'm an international sensation. What can I tell you? So he's like, yeah, hey, anyway, there's people. I mean, they're really great. I mean, I'm behind the people who are behind me, who have provided me mentorship are like multimillionaires. They can teach you how to do a lot of different things. And most of the people that I found were really nice at first. Hey, you know, I run my own enterprise, all kinds of different stuff like that. So I met 2 different people in the same night at a different networking meeting, 2 days into my first day in Seattle. And so I thought, okay, I'll just give them different calls and see what's up. I ended up having a meeting with one of them, and he's like super mysterious. He's not really telling me exactly what it is. He's always telling me what it's not. And then he gives me a Robert Kiyosaki book, The Business of the 21st Century. So this could make a lot of sense if you don't have stuff going on. But again, I just left law school. I have 1,001 interests. I finished directing plays. I act in them as well. And I do a lot of artwork, and my art's in different galleries. I mean, I just have, what does Charlie Gilkey say? I'm just multidimensional, right? So we have multiple things going on. So most of these people aren't in the same avenue of, I also just spent 2 years to write this 253 page book. Actually, it's 232 pages now that it's been edited, but that's what it says on Amazon, and thanks to all of my editors. I love you guys. But like, these people aren't also building products and stuff. They're just like working service jobs. They work as nannies or something like that. And there's no shame, like no shame to anybody in what they're doing. I'm just sharing that it was kind of a mismatch of priorities. It was a mismatch of kind of like, we had the same vision, but in how we were approaching it and stuff, it was very different. So this first guy, it didn't really seem to end very well. He was just cool the first time. He looked at his watch. I was like, I remind you, the day that we met, it was 5 days into me returning back to the United States after 2 years abroad in Asia. So I don't even know many people who would do something like that, who would even be like up on their business, their business like you, like times 100. And so he hands me this book, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can read it in like 2 days, no problem. I have like, actually, now that I'm traveling, I'll even show you maybe in the next video, the backpack. I mean, I for all of this stuff, just for business. I have an entire like backpacking backpack just for business. So anyway, it didn't seem to work out very well. And I handed him my book. I was like, great, I'll read this. You can read mine, and we can see if we want to work together. This guy was just so weird. He just kind of ended up psychotic and calling me like incessantly. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to the next person and see how that works out. She was cool, but the people behind her were super aggressive. We ended up meeting. She told me, hey, like, we have contracts with like top businesses. We can help you. I'm thinking, okay, I'm still holding back because I have my own business. I have 1,001 other things. I've been told what to do, and I'm just like, I'm only thinking about multiple streams of income. You know what I'm saying? The book, that's already passive, and every month when people read and order on every country, Amazon gives me a check, so that's always nice. And then I have the products that I sell, which is also really nice via like in person or Amazon or on my website. So that's really nice. And then I have this coaching business because everybody is coming. So I'm just thinking, okay, this is another way to get another avenue of income. This may help, but it actually ended up not being very cool. Like again, the other woman that I met at the same networking event says, okay, come and meet my mentors. And these people, I mean, when I say like, because I work in energy and spirituality, the wife of this partner, she was so like, you could feel whatever she was putting on me. She did not work in, let's say, godly ways. And there's nothing wrong with witchcraft. I think if you can understand the earth and do different things, that's great. But when you're using energy to harm people, that's when it becomes a problem, right? So she was just spewing, like the second she opened her mouth, I was like, oh Lord have mercy. Okay, like I have to stay away from this woman. I just was so interested because they had something called this event called Family Reunion. So that was really my real my focus, is to understand what are the teachings of these people and what are they telling other people. And so it was so important for me. So I was like, okay, I'll just see what they have. So now I'm going to talk about the pluses and minuses. After it got to the point where I was just like, I just can't do this. I can't work with these people. They're just like, they're not, I mean, I had prayed and fasted because I'm like, God, like, I mean, I was told to come back, but I'm not sure what, I mean, this was clearly a calling, right? Like, whether you are Muslim or Christian or, Buddhist, or I mean, really it doesn't matter. We focus one on knowing and understanding ourselves, and then listening to the voice of God. So I'm told, okay, mentorship, go back now. So I left, and I can understand why I was called now, but then it was just kind of like a huge mistake. Well, not a mistake, but a learning block. So what I ended up going, I met another girl. She sat with me for 2 hours, and I kind of like, it was like, okay, yeah, this is boring. And she just thought I was just so amazing. And she just kept talking on and on. Wow, you're so, like, you know more about finance than most of these people. Okay, yeah, that's nice. So I ended up that was just the whole purpose, was to get to this function, this family reunion. They have 4 different events that they hold every year. And so I thought, okay, it's really nice just to listen to the teachings, because they give you tapes. So what this was called was Worldwide Dream Builders. And so what I really liked about it was that it did provide a lot of mentorship. It provided, it was a business model, and this is what they will tell you in a lot of these MLMs. So please be careful, guys. Like, there's something much better for you, but don't do stuff like this. I mean, there's some energies I can live with, and some I'm just not able to mix with, and that's not really a problem. They have their energy. They can go wherever they want and do what they want. Life is a cosmic joke, right? At the end, we all die. But there are some people during this cosmic energy we just can't mix. And so that was what I found in every single level of this type of this type of business or marketing strategies. And this is even like Vector, or what was the other one? They just invite you to just some kind of strange room, and they have very basic principles, and anyone can do this. So, studying with different people, and really reading at them, not just, oh yeah, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's great. But that's really not where finance really ends. You can't just say you read that and then, okay, now you're going to invest in a building. I mean, there's all kinds of business codes. I mean, are you reading Think Like a Billionaire by Donald Trump, who tells you step by step exactly what to do? Are you understanding the differences between gold and silver coins and how that's going to help you? Are you understanding inflation and how certain things, if we're in a depression, how maybe lumber is going to cost like 3 times as much? All of these things will definitely affect you. So it's not just like, okay, I read this book, it's easy. It's so much more than that. But anyway, let me just keep going. So what I liked was also that most of the people were ambitious. They were focused on, again, this vision, and it did feel like though they had sight. I'm only seeing this one thing as opposed to seeing vision. And so I like that it was really conservative. I love that it was very godly focused. So in this family reunion, everything, there was a Sunday service, and the energy of just everyone coming together and just really loving God was so amazing. I also love that they read books often. they have a rotating book list, and really it's like pages and days long. And they also reinforce the why. So a lot of times, even when I was writing my book, I don't know how many of you have written, I think a lot of you who come to my luncheons, which is happening again at the end of the last Monday of every month. I host a luncheon. It's virtual, so you can travel with me everywhere I'm traveling, and we can exchange different ideas. You can add different things to your arsenal. So yeah, I liked a lot of these different things, that they were ambitious and they had conservative values. I like that we were reinforcing a lot of things often, but this is the things that I didn't like. Again, most of the people were not the most intelligent. Like, okay, I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I really respect Warren Buffett. I love a lot of the things that have happened. And I understand that I am coming from a very privileged point of view, right? Like, I'm talking about changing education. But I was in law school. Like, my parents work as professors. Like, that's very privileged. A lot of people would wish to even get into university or to even pay their children's school fees. But there is intelligence, and a lot of us are born with that. Like, we have social intelligence, we have emotional intelligence, we have musical intelligence. There's multiple intelligences that we have, but I found a lot of them to just not have much intelligence. And there's a difference between smart and intelligent, but like, it was just kind of, I didn't like the energy again. And I don't know how many of you have read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. That's also on my Instagram. I have a book list of books I've read that may also help you. But he says there's a lot of things that you want to do that even lesser intelligent people have been able to do. So when I got there and I thought, okay, if they can do this, it could be okay. But it was too much of a personal investment, and they didn't seem to like that I had multiple things going on. So yes, I still do different art, and my art is in galleries all across Seattle. Yes, I direct plays. Yes, I'm still writing another book. Yes, I'm in classes for writing. Yes, I have a business I'm running online. Yes, I'm accepting clients. And yes, I just came back from traveling. So this is just kind of like the life of a nomad. They didn't really like that I would, okay, so this business, you have to just like gather a lot of people, and you have to mentor these people. And some of the people I was seeing, it was taking up to like 4+ years, and some had not even seen certain levels or attained certain levels of success. So I do understand, like, and I'm not just bashing, so you all are clear. It does take anywhere between like 3 to 5 to 7 years to build and like really have success in the business. But I'm just saying, if it's always the same business meeting, which was another thing, I mean, that's nice to reinforce the why, but it's the same thing. The only thing that changes is the people. But like, that's boring to me. I travel because I want to learn different languages. I travel because, yes, okay, it is different people. That's cool. But if it's not a business model that I'm like supporting, I can't really get with that. And then another thing was, they wanted to know too much of my personals. So like, a lot of times in the speeches that they would give in this family reunion, they would always talk about somebody who was their quote unquote upline. That was disgusting to me. There are some things that is absolutely like, I don't care if you do run, if you are the first person there who can show me how the business is run. There's no trust in your own personal life when I'm watching that you're nice, but there's no way you could help me with things that if people are paying me like a lot of money to help them per hour. That just doesn't make sense. You understand? So that was just kind of like, there was a lot of things. Also, this family reunion seemed to last for a really long time. Like, they would go until 2 a.m. I mean, sorry. It would last until 2 a.m. So what is this kind of mess? Like, why are we meeting? For people who have highly absorbent minds, that didn't seem to help me. Like, I need to have some space so I can really consider everything else. What I mean is, after like 3 or 5 hours of talks, I need some time to just kind of digest that. But this family reunion was almost 3 days straight of just nothing but talk, 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 talk. And it was really good, of different speeches. But and this was held in Portland. So it's really nice to have some areas to hang out at, but like, if it's gonna be all day, what's the point of being in this place? Just to sit inside of a auditorium? Like, for me to travel to a new place and just get like a bubble tea and then go back is not being at that place. I mean, we didn't have much time. You get there, all of a sudden when we arrived to family reunion, this woman was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Everyone's in costumes. We're going to go meet them and see what they have to say about the business. So I get it. You have to act like you're enthusiastic, but how enthusiastic can you be about something like that? Anyway, that's an aside. So it was a very different kind of group of people, and I wasn't really ecstatic about some of the stuff that they were doing and how they were managing things. And maybe some people have to hear certain things over and over and over again. But even for instance, when I listen to an audiobook, maybe I can jump into a second one. But there's no way I'm going to read 7 books in one day. That's so much information, especially when it's like Donald Trump books they're a lot. It is definitely a different vibration and a different energy, and it takes some time to really integrate into yourself. So right after these meetings, we would like wake up at 9 a.m. Then they would have meetings, and then they would go until maybe like 7 or 8. Then from 8 until whenever, you don't really get breakfast. I mean, my health is number one. I thank God I packed all kinds of like, at the time I just went to Trader Joe's, got salmon, got that cooked salmon with that cracked pepper, you know what I'm talking about? That was amazing. And different cheeses and some quince paste and some crackers, and I made some spaghetti, and that was it. The next issue I had was that there were products that they were selling was nasty. Okay, like I knew it was disgusting because they would come and say, okay, hey, try this, and it was like it may have been like rhodiola or something. There were just caffeine pills and energy drinks. And I knew it was really bad because when I would go to the bathroom, it stunk so bad. And it wasn't because people were taking dumps. It was because like, and this is no shame to the people like who had to go to the bathroom, but if the products that we're selling and the things I care the most about are health, happiness, wealth, then it wasn't really like a good idea for me to go and be promoting these products if the caffeine, the energy drinks makes your urine smell that bad. No. Like if your urine smells like pneumonia or something, like there's something wrong. So there was something wrong with those products. Like if just going to the bathroom and everybody just the women's bathroom smell like that, like that was not okay. So it was just disgusting. So yeah, it was just I didn't like the people, but the purpose was just for me to just understand what their like assembly looked like. And so there were things I like and took with it. But for those types of people, I think they're easily drained, or like they're what they call gullible. There's a lot of gullible people, so I feel like that's definitely a gullible business. I'm not sure what exactly their business model or stuff like that is like, but this is this is my experience. And I do like that the idea is that people really will get to be financially free, and that's really what we're looking at now. But things are a little different, things are very different. So thank God for COVID. God bless COVID. Thank you so much. And God bless the wealth transfer that is coming. God bless the understandings of finance and how people are managing themselves. And God bless everything that's happening and this change that is surmounting. and how, you know, this is technologically amazing. There's AI is advancing, and people are just, this is going to be a very, very beautiful thing. So focusing on sickness does not help, but if we focus on the good that's to come, that's going to change so much. And I'm just really excited about it. I'm really, really excited. And I thank you guys. Again, I've talked about a lot. I've talked about a lot of books that I've read, and my Instagram. So you can find me on the exact same name here. You can go to my Instagram and find images of the books I've been talking about. And you know, some of them I don't take pictures. YouTube is an amazing resource. You can go on YouTube and you can YouTube a lot of books. Some of them are all audiobooks, and some are just only the first 5 or 6 chapters. But you will be able to understand, and you know, you'll be able to move forward and listen to really great books, and you can get them again for free. So some of them aren't online because I've been YouTubing the books myself, and like traveling, it's kind of like that, you know. I wish I could buy every book, but where would I put it? It's better to travel lightly. So you guys have an awesome day. If you are interested, in about a week and a half, we are going to have a luncheon. We're going to talk about amazing subjects. The first month we talked about seeing your losses as wins. The next month we talked about, or this past month we talked about, oh wow, how did I just blank on that? This past month we talked about rebuilding a new world, so how the new society is going to help, and really listening to a lot of people's cares and concerns about what they want this new world to be. So yeah, I'm excited. We're going to have a surprise subject, so I'm going to include the Zoom link and the date, and it's, of course, you should know everything will be recorded later on. Okay, I'll see you later. Take care. God bless you. Bye.